Buongiorno, signorinas. Prego, prego, kiss, kiss. I welcome you to my Italian kitchen today. Today I am channeling my Italian relatives, my grandmamas from many grandmamas ago. And today for you I am making my bruschetta. It is said that my grandmama Angelina was cursed by gypsies. I said gypsies. Oh, I hate gypsies. I spit on them. I speak of them no more. So today we are making bruschetta. Hi, it's Donna. I was channeling my grandma apparently. So let me get on with my recipe today. I am making bruschetta. I know everybody has a bruschetta recipe, but hopefully mine's a little different. I decided that I wanted to make it because everybody who has my bruschetta says, oh, that is so good. And I really think it's a little different. So let's begin, okay? So what we're going to do is, I have taken a loaf of sourdough bread and sliced it thin, and I've made the little crostinis, which everybody knows how to make. But I usually butter mine because instead of using olive oil, I think it makes them a little softer. And that way, when my guests bite into my bruschetta, they don't end up with tomatoes all over their face. So that's the only difference there. So my bread's all ready to go. And now for my topping. I'm going to use 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. And I really think it's the secret to this whole recipe because we're going to put it on top of the bread. We're going to bake it in the oven, and it's going to roast and get fluffy and bubbly, and it rises up a little bit in the oven. And so when you bite into the bruschetta, you get that creamy, wonderful taste that makes you go, So we're going to start with 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. Now I've added a stick of butter, room temperature, and we're going to add roasted garlic. You can buy roasted garlic in the grocery store if you like, but we're just going to take our bulbs of roasted garlic that look like this, and now they're nice and tender, and by just squeezing gently, I can actually get the cloves of garlic to just pop out of the shell. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, we're going to do the other bulb. It just makes it so nice to work with. Now I've got my garlic all roasted out of the oven, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mash it with a fork. You can stick this in the food processor if you want, but I find this to be just as quick. And I like the nice chunky garlic in my bruschetta when I take a bite. And when you roast it like this, it takes on a really nice sweet flavor, so it's not strong at all. Okay, so now my garlic is all mashed, and I've got a little secret for you guys. Now I'm all garlicky and smelly, right? Well, what a lot of people don't know is stainless steel will take away that odor. So when I wash my hands at the sink, I have a stainless steel sink, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wash my hands and then rub my hands across the stainless steel, and I won't smell like garlic anymore. So now we're going to put our mashed garlic in with our butter and our cream cheese. And now we're just going to mash this all together until we get it nice and incorporated. So now what we're going to add to our cream cheese mixture is I've got a box of frozen spinach, chopped spinach, that I've thawed and drained and got all the water out of. And I'm probably only going to use about half of the box because I don't want it to take over the flavor from the cream cheese. So we're just going to put that in. And then I've got about a half a cup of Romano. Now you can find Romano, grated Romano, in the same place that you find the grated Parmesan at the store. Sometimes there's a blend like Asiago, Romano, and Parmesan. Either one is fine, but I really like the nutty, sharper taste of the Romano in this recipe. So we're going to save some of it back, and we're going to put it on our bruschetta when it comes out of the oven. Now we have our cream cheese mixture with our roasted garlic and our spinach and our Romano cheese and the star of the show, our Philadelphia cream cheese. And it's just going to melt and get all nice and bubbly after it cooks in the oven. So we're going to take our crostinis and we're just going to generously spread, a good, tablespoon or tablespoon and a half on your bread. Just kind of depends on how big your bread is. But be generous. The garlic has a very mild flavor, and the spinach is wonderful in this. And what we're going to do is we're going to stick these in the oven, 400 degrees for probably about 3 or 4 minutes, just until the cheese gets hot and bubbly. So while our crostinis are in the oven, I'm going to chop our topping for our bruschetta. And what I have here is just some tomatoes, some Roma tomatoes that I've roasted in the oven with a little salt and pepper and olive oil. You don't have to do that. These can just be regular chopped tomatoes. It doesn't make any difference. I think roasted tomatoes add a little more flavor. But certainly if you don't have time to do that, it's not something you have to do. Okay, so now I'm just going to put our tomatoes in a bowl and we'll chop our basil. All right, so now we've got our fresh basil and we're just going to roll the leaves up into a little ball. Everybody always says roll them like a cigar. Well, I don't know anybody who rolls cigars, so I just know that if I roll the basil leaves up a little bit, it makes them easier to slice. So our bruschetta is out of the oven. We want to let it cool for about 10 minutes. And then what we're going to do is I've got about 1/4 cup of pine nuts here that I toasted earlier. And we're just going to sprinkle these on the top of our cheese mixture. And this is going to add a really nice little crunch when you bite down into the bruschetta. And I think that's one of the wonderful things about bruschetta is the different textures you get when you bite into them. You go from the crunchy bread to the soft creamy cheese, and then you get the crunch of the pine nut, and then the wonderful, cool, fresh taste of the basil and the tomatoes on top. And it's just a wonderful appetizer. It's very refreshing. It's great in the summer or in the winter. And I think your family will really love this. Just like that. Look at those beautiful colors. I love that. I love the green from the spinach and the white from the cream cheese. And the pine nuts in the middle, you won't even see them, and you'll get that little crunch and you'll go, ooh, what is that? So now we have our leftover Romano cheese from earlier, and we're just going to give it a nice little sprinkle on top of each one. Now I have some sliced black olives, and I did these for my husband because my husband loves them. And I'm just going to put a couple of sliced black olives on top of each one. So now I have my bruschetta all done, and I can't wait to taste it. It's so good. I love the crunch. Oh, it's got such a fresh flavor. And I love the cream cheese because it's just got that wonderful, wonderful cream cheese flavor. And then the fresh tomatoes and the basil. It's wonderful. Please, please make this for your next party. It's a wonderful appetizer. And from me family to you family, from my great-great-grandmama Angelina, who was cursed by the gypsies. Oh, I see gypsy again. I spit on them. I speak of them no more. Ciao.